Hello viewers, welcome back to SSN 24. In a season that marked the first year of the 12-team college football playoff, fans and experts alike were eager to see how the new format would unfold. However, one glaring issue came to light when number 1 seed and unbeaten Oregon lost to number 8 seed Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. USC fans certainly enjoyed Oregon's loss, but even they would admit, the Ducks should never have had to face Ohio State so early. This highlights an issue with the new playoff system, the bracketing process. For a tournament to be fair and competitive, higher-seeded teams should face easier paths to progress. Oregon, as the number 1 seed and only undefeated team in the regular season, deserved a much easier opponent than Ohio State in the quarterfinals. The current structure, where Oregon had to play one of the toughest teams in the field, simply doesn't reward teams for their hard work throughout the regular season. Another flaw in the playoff format was the lack of proper reward for conference championship game winners. Oregon, which defeated Penn State in the Big Ten championship, should have been placed in a favorable position based on their strong season performance. Instead, they were forced into a difficult matchup with Ohio State, which was arguably one of the most talented teams in the playoff field. As we continue to evaluate and discuss potential reforms for the playoff system, one major change must be the way teams are seeded and bracketed. It's clear that the current system needs an overhaul to ensure that higher-seeded teams, like Oregon, get the fair opportunity they deserve. Seeding and bracketing needs reform. In any multi-round tournament, the higher-seeded teams should face a more manageable path to the later rounds. Oregon, with their undefeated record, should have been rewarded with a less challenging opponent, not one of the best teams in the country. Instead of following the current structure, a more sensible approach would have been to rank the 12 teams based on performance, and then proceed to create a fair bracket. Proposed bracket reform, the made-for-TV selection show. One way to add excitement and fairness to the process would be to allow the top 4 seeds to choose their opponents in the quarterfinals. Imagine a live broadcast where the number 1 seed picks from the 5 to 12 seeds, followed by the number 2, number 3, and number 4 seeds. This would not only give teams a fair opportunity to select their matchups but would also add an element of excitement to the playoff selection process, much like the NCAA tournament's bracket reveal in March. The benefits of a selection show. This new approach would allow teams to take control of their playoff destiny, eliminating any concerns about outside influences, such as ESPN's involvement in the process. It would also make the selection show an exciting event in itself, generating national conversation and debate. Moreover, it would ensure that teams like Oregon are properly rewarded for their excellent regular season by giving them the chance to avoid facing a powerhouse like Ohio State in the early rounds. The 12-team college football playoff needs to address its current flaws, especially when it comes to seeding and bracketing. While it's easy to enjoy Oregon's loss from a USC perspective, we must also acknowledge that it was unfair to pit them against such a tough opponent so early. By allowing teams to select their opponents, we could see a fairer, more exciting playoff in the future. Thank you for tuning in to SSN 24. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on all the latest sports news.